Oh, it's Drake on his phone for just an instant, alongside basketball czar of the Raptors.
That man didn't get paid for that show. He looked dead in the camera, knew when he was going to get sued, and said, "Say, Drake, I hear you like him young." Didn't get paid for that. They don't get paid for Super Bowl halftime performances. A lot of people did get the message last night from Kendrick. However, a lot of people did not. 40 acres and a mule, this is bigger than the music. Do you know what 40 acres and a mule means? If not, you should look it up. He said the revolution will be televised. You picked the right time and the wrong guy. I'd follow that man off a cliff. And then the American flag split in half as you got Samuel L. Jackson over there acting as Uncle Sam. Maybe. The artwork. Everything about it. Wake up.
See, you wanted that performance to have been about Drake. You want to highlight A minor, which was a minor part of the performance, because that Super Bowl halftime performance was not about Drake. It was about us, the United States of America, in this moment in American history. That's why he started with squabble up, because that's what we got to do. We have to fight back in order to survive. Kendrick Lamar, the embodiment of swift artistry and Gemini genius, and the first solo rapper to headline a Super Bowl, delivered a performance rich with symbolism, some of which may have been missed on first watch. But I promise you, it's going to be discussed by cultural critics for decades to come as one of the first bold protests of the Trump era. And I'm going to tell you right here, baby, I'm so glad that Donald Trump was there to see the blackest halftime performance of all time. He had Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, dancers dressed in red, white, and blue prison uniforms, creating patterns that resembled and gave us an American flag, symbolizing both patriotism and critique of all the issues in this country regarding equality and the battle for it. The performers in prison uniforms, really was my favorite part. Just think about it. Where America's society wants to relegate us, wants to put us, prison, wage slavery, mere entertainment. And at a time when Black excellence is under attack, facing false equivalencies and the misguided relevance of the anti-DEI movement, Kendrick Lamar's choreography and visuals underscored a bigger point. The repetition of the flag reinforces both a celebration of who we are, our American identity, and also an indictment of the contradictions that identity holds for all of us, not just Black people, not just all of us. So this performance was not about Drake. I know some of you are wondering, you're saying to yourself, so if this performance wasn't about Drake, then what was Like Us all about? Well, ours inclusion of Not Like Us, even in a censored form, brought attention to ongoing debates about accountability and power dynamics. It's about holding public figures, whether they be Donald Trump, Drake, or Elon Musk, accountable for their actions. See, the oligarchs who paid $1 million to attend an inauguration, or an oligarch who paid $200 million to influence a national election, those people, they're not like us. They never have been, and they never will be. Kendrick Lamar proved on that stage that hip hop is America's most vital, most important storytelling medium. Each movement, each visual element, and each carefully chosen song served as a chapter in a larger narrative about power, race, and the ongoing evolution of American culture, about who we are and who we are evolving and turning into. And who that person is, who that is, well, that's in America's hands now.
That was a statement, not a performance. And so many people are missing it by saying worst performance in Super Bowl history when it was so much more than that. The symbolism. He literally said, this is bigger than music. Like, are y'all missing it? Are y'all missing the point here? Uncle Sam being Samuel L. Jackson, telling everyone to stay in line and that's what they want. And all the other iconic cameos which described minority struggles with being seen as too abrasive whenever they're just fighting for their freaking rights. Kendrick saying, the revolution about to be televised, you picked the right guy at the wrong time, which is a nod to Gil Scott-Heron, who said the revolution won't be televised. The people standing in a formation of the American flag, which was split in half during Humble. Like, how are y'all missing it? And then the lights in the crowd lighting up to say, warning, wrong way, with the American flag beside it, which just symbolizes America going backwards. Like, come on. Not to mention the smirk when he said, "Hey Drake," and his necklace being the music note A minor. I know I'm not the right messenger for this, but honestly, it was just pure art. The amount of time that he had to put this together in is insane, and he absolutely killed it. And you cannot change my mind.
It is so funny to watch the Trump supporters melt down over Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, these guys are losing it. Former Republican Representative Madison Cawthorn said halftime show should have just been Donald Trump dancing to YMCA, further proving that they are very much so in a cult. Lauren Boebert said, "Tell me I'm not the only one needing subtitles for this. I forgot that Lauren Boebert can only hear when someone is bowing down to Donald Trump. If it's anything else, well, she's not so great." Charlie Kirk said, "This music is not my style. This is the same guy who loves Kid Rock." And finally, Beavis and Butthead lookalike Matt Gaetz said, quote, "The halftime show you just watched is clearly the regime's response to Trump's historic gains with black men." You know, if there's anybody out there that shouldn't be talking about a halftime show that includes dissing people who like children, it's Matt Gaetz. If it's not a straight white dude with a Maga hat on, the Trump supporters don't like it. They think that the performance is bad, or it's this or it's that. Man, they just come up with anything, huh? Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was great, and it was made even better by the fact that Maga supporters disliked it.
Maga is super upset at the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar, top 10 performance of all time. But it didn't stop Maga from screaming DEI. Charlie Kirk saying, "This music is not my style." Or how about Jack Poso saying, "DEI halftime show." Or about this one that's very clever. "This halftime show was rejected at the ballot box," even though it wasn't really rejected. Or this one. This one's really clever, guys. Kendrick Lamar says, "Turn this TV off." Before ending his Super Bowl halftime performance, he should have told us that at the beginning of the performance. Only Maga would turn something that was honestly a top 10 performance by Kendrick Lamar into something about DEI. And we all know why they were screaming DEI, because it's the same reason that they didn't vote for this awesome woman right here, Kamala Harris. I'll let you fill in the reason on why you think they were not in support of this halftime show.
So the more that I rewatch this performance, the more that I realize this is a clear call for a revolution. Not only does he come up and say that this revolution will be televised, you picked the right time but the wrong guy. You have Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, who is the embodiment of America. When he asks, "Do you know how to play the game?" that is America physically asking Kendrick if he knows how to. There are many layers to that statement because he is a black man in America, but it is also a statement to every American in this country who is participating in this flawed ass system that is keeping all of us under. The stage is a video game. We are the game pieces, and while we fight amongst each other, only the elite win. The revolution will not be televised. And a revolution is a lot more than just saying that a revolution is happening. It's people realizing that the game is over, that it's time to turn the TV off, and that it's time to get to work. But a revolution takes everybody getting on board. It takes everyone realizing that this is happening. And so, in a way, this performance was him pretty much signaling what we all know. He just used his platform to call the elephant in the room.
Clearly, Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance went all the way over some people's heads. But what if I were to tell you that was the whole point? Judging by Twitter, the American people need to work on their ability to recognize symbolism. Samuel L. Jackson introduced Kendrick Lamar dressed up as Uncle Sam. Now, this is tough because his name's Sam and he's older, so Uncle Sam, Unc Sam. But also, the term Uncle Sam is a metaphor for the American government and the American people. So that's who he's representing. Keep that in mind. After Kendrick performs Squabble Up, the camera pans over to Uncle Sam, and he's visibly angry. He tells Kendrick, screaming, to tighten up, and that's because Squabble Up is a song derived from violence and rooted in West Coast culture, which is not the music that the American people want to hear. Symbolism. A few songs later, Kendrick brings SZA out, plays the mega hits, Luther, All the Stars. Uncle Sam says something to the effect of, "Here we go, that's more like it, this is what the people want to hear." Remember, Uncle Sam represents the American people, and if you were watching the halftime show, then it was clear. The crowd reacted more to those songs. That is not a coincidence, rather it was done by design. It was the entire point. So if you're one of those people on Twitter talking about that show was ass, my question to you would be, how does it feel to be made fun of on national TV and have no idea what was going on?
No, because I'm tired of you guys deliberately misunderstanding the whole point of Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime show.
and I need you guys to gain some media literacy, please. And if you didn't understand it, that's okay. Let me just show you. Because I will not be shutting up about this for the next billion business days. So, okay, so bear with me because I literally just Googled the halftime performance and took as many screenshots as I could. But having Samuel L. Jackson represent Uncle Sam is huge for so many reasons. First of all, Uncle Sam used during wartime propaganda to show, like, the typical, like, American man, quote-unquote American man, was white, was, like, you know, etc. Having him be a black man, and not only that, have him be Samuel L. Jackson, which is part of so much cinematic history and usually portrayed these really sinister, vile characters, have him portray America in this current context is already insane. Like, it's, oh my god, so good. Plus, side note, beautiful costuming. Anyways, so having Samuel L. Jackson be there, be kind of the ringleader, let's say, of the whole ceremony, and policing Kendrick and what he has to say is symbolic on so many levels. Having him say, oh no, you're being too loud, you're being too this, you're being too ghetto. He said the word ghetto, is so symbolic. And then once Kendrick is in a more silent and slow ballad part, he says, see, this is what the American people wanted, like, this is what they wanted, etc. And he gets interrupted by Kendrick starting to play Not Like Us, which he had previously said as Uncle Sam, like, oh no, we don't want that, it's too this, it's too that. And so deliberately going against him and saying that is so symbolic as well. But then let's get to one of my favorite parts here. Again, I'm sorry about the picture, but this whole scene was absolutely insane. Having, first of all the dancers dressed up in red, white, and blue, symbolic. Having them all line up like the American flag, symbolic. Having it split down the flag, symbolic. So they had all the dancers, who were black, by the way, represent the American flag, so the U.S., while the current administration is trying to remove all traces of DEI from this country's history, from its current political nature, from everything relating to society, is so symbolic. And having Kendrick be like, no, see, we're here, and this is the USA, and having them all lined up like that, and then go down, like walk down and touch the floor, which is a huge no-no for anyone in the US. Like, you're not supposed to have the American flag touch the floor. Like, it's really bad luck and it's extremely disrespectful. And so during the song Humble, having all of the dancers go down and touch the floor, like, it's, oh my god. And then having Kendrick in the middle showing the divide of the United States is also absolute insanity. And also, I love the costuming, like, they were all so good, but like, there's so much symbolism happening all the time. It's so in your face, but also, like, you have to dig deeper for it. And so, oh my god, like, this is one of my favorite parts. Now, for this part of the set design, I haven't really seen anyone talk about it yet. Like, I've only seen a couple of videos of this whole performance as a whole, but it was mainly people just talking about the main facts and points and things like that. But I just want to take a moment to talk about all of this, because someone that I was working with was saying, oh, like, it's so boring, like this, that, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's symbolic for so many reasons. But like, obviously, like, you see the X, the circle, the triangle, etc. It's supposed to look like a PlayStation. Why? Because they're playing the game of life. They're playing the game of the great American dream. They're playing with people's lives, and having the main center part, I think, prove me wrong, but I think it was supposed to look like a street, but also kind of look like a prison jail yard. Okay, bear with me. What if they're playing with people's lives? You know, what if they're doing all of that and having them walk through, like, and stuff? Oh my god, there's so much to it. Like, I could analyze this for hours, but like, this is just what I saw, and it was insane. And having people be like, no, it like sucks, like, where's the fire, where's the flames, or this, that, whatever, like, I was just kind of like, no, guys, this is so good. There's a reason why Kendrick is like the only rapper with a Pulitzer Prize. Like, he does everything intentionally and embeds so much history and like references and things to everything that he does. Like, it is insane. I loved it so much. Wait, I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about this. Like, this is one of the most important parts. At the very beginning of his performance, he said, the revolution about to be televised, you picked the right time but the wrong guy, which right. So the right time, 120 million viewers. The Wrong Guy. I'm gonna let you take some guesses about that one. Yeah, The Wrong Guy. Yeah, so he's calling it out for the world to see, and then goes on to do one of the most amazing performances that I've ever seen. And it doesn't need like pyrotechnics to make it so symbolic, and people are going to be talking about this for decades. This was so good. Like, Kendrick, you are amazing. I love you so much. And SZA, you ate that up too. But I do not want to hear one more person talk about how boring this was or whatever, because here, I just spelled it out for you. But I'm sure there's so much that I'm already missing, and I'll probably look back at this and be like, girl, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? But like, this was so good. So, so, so good. Love it.